हेलो we're back finally. काफी ज़्यादा टाइम हो गया
Yes,
since we actually did the thing we most love, talk about football. कैसा लग रहा है?
yes. It's been a while. I hope everyone's safe. I hope
Yes,
everyone is
yes,
doing all right
yes,
with
yes.
what all's going around. It's.
It's a scary
I
situation
just
here,
hope.
but I hope everyone gets the
I hope.
required strength to go through this too shall pass.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully,
Anyway,
hoping and praying for all of the world and especially for India.
yeah, definitely. Anyway,
Now,
let's
let's go.
let's go. Let's talk about football after what 4 5 months, no?
Yeah, it's been we.
Yeah, and we're
It's
back.
almost been that long.
We're back with probably the second most important game in European club football
Maybe third most after the Champions League
continent.
semi-finals.
Second most important continental game in European football,
Yeah.
not a league game.
Yes.
यूरोपा लीग फाइनल वैसे तो कोई
Yes.
खास देखता नहीं है यूरोपा लीग पूरा ही पर
No,
फाइनल
no, no.
देखते हैं सारे
They,
unless you're obviously like a fan of one of the teams involved, and this time we have one
yes.
on board,
Yes.
a Manchester United fan. How does it feel to reach a European final after a while?
Uh, not the best European final, not the one you would wish for, but you'd still take it, considering where the team is, and
It
you're
is
just glad
something. It
that
is something.
this.
It is a
It is
trophy. It is
something.
a major trophy.
It's a good trophy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a good trophy, and I think it helps build the confidence in a team, and
Exactly.
for a young squad, for our squad which hasn't won much anything almost. So yeah, so we need it, and maybe this is a stepping stone.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
true. And see, I'm sure you were also bummed out that United got knocked out of the Champions League group stages itself.
oh huh,
But
of
I
course.
I think it's not the worst thing to happen to them because I don't know how much you'll agree with me, but where the team is at present, I do not see them winning Champions League. So maybe this is the next best thing for them, and they end the like if they can end the season with a European trophy, that's obviously a big deal, and it's obviously a big confidence booster for this squad.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we would have been contenders even if we would have gotten past the group stage. It
Yeah,
was a very tough group stage to start with, but even if you would have passed that, even if we would have done that, I don't think we stood as contenders, and it showed in the performances and the results.
that's what.
This seems good now that we are in the finals, but of course, it was a heartbreak when it happened when we had those leads going against PSG and Leipzig and
Yeah,
then falling down.
true,
But that's
true.
been the journey. That's been United's Europa League journey. It
Yeah,
started from Champions League.
that's what. See, to be fair, when the season started, when they were still in the group stages, they weren't probably as strong and as free flowing a football team as they are now. I mean, they're not exactly a free
No,
flowing football team even now, but they're better. They're
but
much
much
better.
stronger,
They're much
much
better.
stronger, much stronger.
They have much more clarity in terms of where they are in team positionings and who their best players are. Pogba has finally somehow found himself again, and
Hmm.
Fernandez is obviously last 1.5 years he's been
Hmm.
magic, and
Yeah.
that showed in the semi-final. Roma,
Hmm.
the performance from heaven, second half performance from heaven.
Oh yeah, that second half was a blitz, and I'll tell you what, Sujay, watching that match, seeing we went 2-1 down, even when the first goal that Bruno scored was fantastic. I knew that this team could really pick it up even in the second match, even if this
Oh,
match didn't go in our favor because of the quality that we had. It was just about whether mentally we could push past the barrier of underperforming when it mattered in more crunch games. And they did that with that semi-final performance. We had, in terms of this journey to the Europa League final, as good as the match against Roma was, AC Milan match was very crucial because AC Milan was a team in form,
yeah,
and
true.
Yeah, and it was a tough match against a good strong team. So United's journey till now has been very strong in the Europa League, which wasn't the case with our Champions League performances, but that's how we found ourselves there.
That's what they've been growing. They've been growing. They've ended the
Yeah.
season fairly well. I mean,
Hmm.
obviously end में थोड़ा सा wobble था, but 2021 has been good for them overall.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Good signs showing. Good
they are
signs
in a
showing.
position where they can kick on. But for that kicking on to happen, winning the Europa League, winning a big trophy will be a very
Yes.
crucial thing. And
Exactly.
in their way is Unai Emery. I mean, if it was
Oh
just
yeah.
Villarreal, I would have probably given United a like more favorable position. They are still slight favorites, but
Hmm.
if it was not Unai Emery in that dugout, the man who just knows how to win a Europa League final,
Yeah.
Bunda,
He's a legend in this league.
exactly, he's the only manager to have won three Europa Leagues, that too on the trot.
Yes. Yeah.
He's won,
He's played four finals.
yeah, he's played four finals. उसमें से एक हारा है वो.
Hmm.
That was
आर्सेनल से ठीक है वो बनता है.
वो बनता है आर्सेनल के साथ आप आज की डेट में लाइक बट अगेन आर्सेनल विल
हाँ,
टॉक अबाउट सम अदर टाइम.
of course.
Unai Emery, he's
Hmm.
solidified this team. See, VREL
Hmm.
has never been a bad team. वो
No.
relegate हुए थे earlier on in the decade. 2013 में they
Hmm.
came back to the league, and after that, surprisingly, they've never been out of the top six up until this
Hmm.
season, where
Up
they're
until
where,
this season,
where they're seventh.
where they've reached the final, but they've had a good showing this season.
Yeah,
They went on a great run. They went 19 matches unbeaten,
yeah,
and of course, a lot of them were draws. But it's a good, strong, robust team
true.
with
It's
very good tactical approach by Emery and tactical flexibility.
they're very solid defensively. Like that is something that you just expect from an Emery team, and he's done that this time round also. Raul Albiol, who I I was expecting him to have just been gone by now, but he's been great this season. Pau Torres is up and coming. I have a feeling Pau Torres will be signed by a big European team next season because his name has
Yeah,
been
sure.
has been doing rounds for a while with a
Mm.
lot of different
There's
clubs. He's been
there's
linked
been
with
a
a lot
lot of
of.
interest in that player.
Yeah. So Pau Torres has been great. These two have been great at the heart of the defense this
Hmm.
season.
They have
And
been.
their fullbacks also have been very good, pushing on, helping out in defense, obviously, but pushing on and joining the midfield ranks. And that is where they win a lot of their games. They just
Hmm.
crowd out the midfield and they get the numerical advantage. And
They they did that against, of course, in terms of defensive solidarity, which they have shown. They did that against Arsenal in the semi-finals.
yeah,
Did not let them score in the second leg as much
that's
as they
not
tried.
that's not the hardest thing these days, but again,
True,
shutting
true,
out
but
completely is obviously a big thing, especially in an away
hmm,
game. Especially in an away
in
game.
a way.
So that obviously speaks to the defensive solidity.
Hmm.
Ibora has been
And they
a defensive rock, defensive midfield rock, but he's been out injured lately with
hmm,
Coquelin and Etienne Capoue
hmm.
stepping in.
Ibora is going to be a miss. He's a strong player. Uh, well, I'm kind of glad he's not playing, but yeah, I mean they're going to miss his presence. But I still kind of fear the robustness of that Villarreal midfield is again a worry for me,
It
and
is a
it's been
well-drilled
a worry
unit.
for
It is a well-drilled
for
unit.
all teams that they've played
Yeah.
this especially in this campaign. They defeated the Dynamos Zagreb and Kiev, and in all of their performances, their midfield and their defense has really they defend in numbers and they've really shown their strength. They've played to their strengths.
Mm, true. And going forward, also, they're not exactly like a not so strong a team. Going forward, they have those Gerard Moreno, Paco Alcazar, and all of those players. And Moi Gomez has been great this season.
Hmm. He's
So,
been great this season.
and
Moreno has been great for the past 2-3 seasons. He's been
mm,
excellent.
yeah, and this attack, even if it's not
Hmm.
like it's not amongst the best in Europe, obviously, but
Hmm.
this attack has the capacity to trouble this makeshift. defensive line makeshift. I call it because
Hmm.
see, I know it's just one player missing, but that one player is going to be a huge miss. Harry Maguire missing
Hmm.
out for Manchester United because of injuries.
Uh,
I don't think
at a crucial moment.
exactly, and that is going to be a huge miss. What do you think United's chances are without him?
Of course, with him would have been better. He really shores up that side of the defense with Shaw going forward. They
Hmm.
really have a really good understanding.
Yeah,
That part is of no doubt. And I think he could have managed against the pace of Alcazar and even to some extent Moreno's. But let's see, it's not just going to be about the defense for United. They're going to miss out on Maguire, and this could have a big impact. I think we're gonna try and shore it up with more midfielders trying to make sure that the defense stays stable,
I think
and
yeah,
probably that's how the approach is going to be. I think, according to me.
the
So this
attack
is
will
one way
also
of
have its
nullifying.
attack will also have its work cut out against this Villarreal defense. Like I
Hmm.
know Cavani is doing great.
Yeah.
Rashford is
Yeah.
also finding some sort of touch. Greenwood has also been
Hmm.
great. Pogba is, like we
Hmm.
spoke, has found himself again. Bruno Fernandes,
Hmm.
brilliant player. He's
Hmm.
already like
Hmm.
Europa. He didn't play the group stages
That,
obviously, but
yes.
he already has like 5 goals, 4 assists. So speaks to
Hmm.
the quality of the player obviously.
Yeah.
But if the Villarreal midfield can somehow control Fernandes,
Hmm.
they obviously
Hmm.
eliminate a lot of the threat. So,
Of course,
and I'm sure they
it
will be
still
thinking
stands.
about
Yes.
that. I'm sure they will be thinking
Hmm.
about that. So that is where the others will have to step up.
Hmm.
So, and talking about the teams, who do you think
Hmm.
United? A big question for United has been this season: who starts in goal? Henderson and De Gea have been playing musical chairs of sorts. So,
Yeah.
who do you think starts in the goal?
I think it's been a case of, especially this year, it's been a case of who's been the slightly better keeper. I think initially Henderson found his form. At the moment, I think it's a big game. De Gea starts,
Yeah,
no
for the
doubt in my mind.
experience and obviously
For
defense.
his experience, for his shot stopping ability, I
Hmm.
think going forward, and this is a topic for another time, but I think going forward, Henderson has a better command of his defense and of his box than De Gea does. De Gea does not have that. But
He does
the
have a better
experience, the shot
command.
stopping ability,
Yeah,
the
exactly,
quality
exactly.
at his age, for Henderson's age, and for his experience.
He's a very good keeper. He has, like you said, he has command over, and he's not exactly bad with his feet. Also,
Mm.
his shot stopping ability is something that needs to improve, especially
Yeah, of
if
course.
you are to be a Manchester United player for
Uh,
long.
he
Like
he still needs to go a
any
lot of distance. Mm.
any top club gunning for major titles, I don't think Dean Henderson would be their first choice in the goal. So
No, no, not the moment. But
that might just
he
work against him in this final as well.
uh,
And obviously David De
he
Gea.
has time to grow. Anyway, De Gea. So
Right
De
back,
Gea
obviously
starts in
Van
goal.
Bissaka.
Ah,
Centre
right
back,
back, left back, it's pretty decided. Bai and Lindelof, I
you
think they'll
think Bai
start
and not
easily.
the kid Alex?
Tonzip?
Ah.
No, the kid is too young, I think, for me. And for major part, I think the primary asset for Twanzebe has been his pace, which was used well against that Champions League match against PSG.
Hmm.
But at the moment, if Bai is fit, if nothing happens to him in the
In
warm up,
training or just
yeah. So
while tying his
or
shoelaces.
while just traveling. So if he is fit by the time the whistle blows and the
Yeah.
match starts, he plays.
Okay.
I think the question, Sujay, is what next after the defense?
Hmm.
Who all play? There are
See,
six, seven
I think he'll go with
players.
a slight safety first approach and with a standard 4-2-3-1 formation for.
I agree. I agree. I think
I,
that is going to be the approach.
I know Fred and McTominay together in a team that's trying to attack is not exactly the ideal situation,
Yeah.
but I think he might just go for that.
Hmm. For trying to control the midfield, trying to
Exactly,
break the
exactly.
balls. I think Fred is what he's going to try and use as a destroyer. And McTominay to help out and go forward, come back. I
True.
think in such a big match, and this is the tricky part. I think in such a big match, who is he going to leave out? Is he going to leave out Greenwood or Rashford or Cavani or Pogba? Bruno, of course, you don't. But
Bruno to can't.
uh,
I'm sure
I
Bruno
don't think
plays.
he
I'm
leaves
sure
out.
Cavani plays,
Yes, I
and
think
I'm
these
sure
both are certain, and I think
Pogba plays.
Pogba also
Yeah, I'm sure
starts.
Pogba plays.
And if fitness allows for both Rashford and Greenwood, I think Rashford starts the match easily.
Yeah, and
He probably,
if they are chasing the game, then they can probably take out one of
hmm,
the holding midfielders, Fred or McTominay,
yeah,
and they can
and
put in the
of
likes of
course,
Greenwood and all. Even Mata has a
hmm,
chance to come off the bench,
yeah,
and
if he's on the bench, Van der Beek, Diallo, he's young, but he's a
not
dynamic option and
not to forget
going
they
forward.
have the option of five substitutes. It's not Premier League.
Yes. So
So
players like Teles can come in and you know try and make an impact. So I think this is going to be the 11 for me.
yeah,
Four two three
and
one,
against
and
a very I think Villarreal will revert to their 4-4-2 or a 4-1-4-1. Like just trying to
hmm,
be compact, trying to be solid, trying to play from the mid, and obviously once in a while there will be a long ball over the defense, and that is something that
hmm,
these people will have to be very careful about, especially Lindelof because
yeah,
he has a tendency to get caught in those situations.
yeah.
So,
And
and
of course, I think they're going to play with both the strikers.
yeah, Gerard
Villarreal, right?
Moreno and Alcazar, both of
Big
them.
game. I think
They
both
have
of
the
them
option
play.
of they have the option of Carlos Bacca also from the bench, who's
Yeah,
a good player, who's not a
yeah, he is. And
superstar.
with, as you rightly mentioned, five substitutes. Who knows? He might get a chance to get involved.
That's what.
Uh,
Where do you think the
we've
game is
already
going to
spoken
be
about their
won
defense.
or lost?
Right?
Where do you think the game is going to be won
Yeah,
or lost?
I think it's as strong as the attacks can be of these two teams. As strong as the defense is for Villarreal, not for United. I think it's going to be the midfield battle. Players like, I know they're missing Bora, but Coquelin
Parejo,
and
Parejo
Parejo.
controls the tempo of a game beautifully.
Uh, and I think Emery is going to try and starve United out of good clear cut
Yeah,
opportunities and good clear cut possession. Is going to be his aim to flood
true.
the midfield with players, flood his defense with players, and when they get the chance, hit them not just on the counter, but manage the tempo and manage the midfield properly. This is where they think they can win the game, and this is where they can win the game
Yeah,
if they are able to play. And
it's
these are the Villarreal strengths. Yes, it's very very
yeah,
possible.
and see the thing is, Villarreal not just they don't just press and like control the zones effectively. They're also like the defense effect is effective against the long ball strategy. Like if
Hmm.
United give up on everything else and just try to give it to
Try to run
Cavani,
Rashford in.
just
Try
try
to
to
run
run it to
Rashford in
Cavani.
or
Yeah.
Greenwood in. Hmm.
So even that is something that these guys, if like crosses coming in, Albiol and Pau Torres can deal with Cavani effectively for
Hmm.
most of it, unless like Cavani obviously is capable of moments of magic, like we saw
Hmm.
recently in the Premier League game where he scored from
Yeah.
I don't know how far away.
Yeah.
So
Some goal.
exactly. So, but yeah, like you said, I think midfield is where the focus will be for this game because
Hmm.
likes of Fred, McTominay, they will have to cut off the passing channels that Parejo more often than not
Hmm.
finds, and Bruno Fernandes
No.
will have to like be very very aware of who's around him because he the only criticism that you can probably level at him is his tendency to just let the game and let the physicality get better of him. Like recently in the Liverpool game, like
Hmm.
Roy Keane said, he spent a lot of time flat on the pitch and trying to get a foul. So he
Hmm.
will probably have to move away from that tendency a little bit if he has to, like, if he wants to influence the game more.
Hmm.
And that is something that United and United fans will want, obviously.
Yeah. A manager like Emery would be very well aware of the kind of threat that a player like Bruno has. And I'm sure he must have a plan to try and limit his influence on the pitch.
True.
Uh, Emery is definitely the better tactician, the better manager here, the more seasoned, the more experience. He's won a lot of trophies. And I'm sure he's going to have a lot of plans for a lot of specific United players because, as good as the team is, we tend to play on individual moments a lot, on
Yeah.
individual brilliance a lot. And he'd like to limit that. And this is, one of the areas where United players have to come up and shine on the big stage.
True. True. So, big question. Prediction time. Who do you think is winning?
I am gonna go with. I think it's gonna be a tight match, a narrow victory for United. I don't think it's gonna be a goal fest. I don't think it's gonna be a 1-0 victory. I think more like a 2-1 seems like the kind of victory that United will, and it's gonna be a grind.
I have a feeling this game will go into extra time,
Nah, could very well could,
and
but I just
maybe
don't see it going
one
into the penalties at the moment. I don't
one
think it might happen, but
one all at 90, and then whichever team has slightly more energy and better players too.
hmm, hmm,
Just better players in the sense, better characters to command the
better
game.
characters. Yeah, yeah.
So,
So a narrow victory for. What's your prediction?
Villarreal probably, like I know they're underdogs, but I have a feeling they'll
Hmm.
fight for everything. They will fight
Yeah,
for
they will. They
every
will,
single
and they
thing.
might
And
just. They might
I
just.
I
I
have
mean,
a
it's.
feeling that they will be able to catch at least one error from the defense, because Maguire not leading that defense is
Hmm.
slightly a problematic area.
Even if he would have been leading, we are still susceptible to an error or two
True, true,
easily.
true that, true
but
that, true that.
but yeah. So your prediction is Villarreal.
Villarreal in extra time or maybe even penalties, who knows. Like
Hmm.
they
Okay.
these matches more often than not tend to hate Indians sleep patterns. साला 12:30 बजे मैच
Yeah.
शुरू होता है, 3 बजे तक तो मैच ही देखते रहो.
Quite the possibility there.
Yeah.
Let's see how this one goes.
Anyway, let's
Hmm.
bring this to a close. If you guys
Sure.
like this, if you guys like this chat, please do subscribe to the channel. We promise to be a little more regular. We're coming back in a new format, and we promise to be a lot more regular. We'll keep these these discussions, these podcast episodes light, and we'll keep these podcast episodes very topical going forward.